Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So in this video we will learn about main method in Java and the interview questions usually asked to the Java developer, like how main method works, or like how internally main method works, or different interview questions. So we'll see and we'll learn about it. Okay, so let's start. So in Java the main method is usually the point of executing a Java program. The main method can contain code to execute or call other methods, and it can be placed in any class. Okay, so it can be part of your program, and more complex program usually have a class that contains only a single method, that is the main method. The class contains the main method can have any name, although typically you can just call the class main. Okay, so the Java main method is usually the first method we'll learn about, when we start the programming in Java, because it's the entry point for executing a Java program. Okay, so let's start. So I'll be moving towards the code part, and we'll learn through code and everything while coding, like for each keyword, what exactly that mean and what's the purpose of that using in the main method. Okay, so the syntax for main method is public static void main string args. We have a public as an access specifier, we have static as a keyword, void is a return type, main the method name, and string args as an array of string type arguments. So I'll be moving toward code part now, and let's start. Okay, so I'll be creating first the main method. So I have written main method. So to see what method I have written, or to specify or differentiate between a method and classes, a method has always ends up with a banana brackets. Okay, so I have written two brackets here. These are, you can call as banana brackets. So I have specified a main. I'll be just writing a multi-line comments over here, so that I will be writing everything up here. Okay, so main is basically the method name. Okay, so it represents the startup of the program. Okay, the next thing that we write up here is void. So void basically means it's the return type of the method. It means it doesn't return any type. So suppose if I write up any integer or any long, so it will be returned the integer type value, or long type value. But if I have written the void, so it means that it won't return anything. So void is a keyword, and it used to specify that a method doesn't return anything. Okay, so as a main method doesn't return anything, means while we are running or executing our program through main method, we don't have to return anything. Okay, so its return type is void. As soon as the main method terminates, the Java programs terminate too. Hence it doesn't make any sense to return int or long from the main method, as JVM can't do anything with the return value of it. Okay, so we are not returning anything. That's why we are using void with it. Okay, so void means return type, and it means it will not return anything. Void is a keyword used to specify that a method doesn't return anything. Okay, so the next thing is we will write static. Okay, so static means static is a keyword. Okay, so if we declare any method as static, it is known as static method. Okay, so the core advantage or the main advantages of static method is that there is no need to create objects or to invoke in the static method. Okay, so the main method is executed by the JVM, so it doesn't require to create the object to invoke the method. Okay, so suppose like when we run, let me just also write static. When we run or execute a program, we simply first write java c command, then file name. So my file name is first java class dot java. Using this command we execute, and it will execute my class, my java file, and convert it to the bytecode. Then jvm, first gre will run and it will call jvm, and then class loader will go and load my class and objects. So if it sees a static main method or a static method is there, so it will automatically first load the static method. Okay, so static method is like jvm can invoke it without instantiating the class. Okay, so this also saves the unnecessary wastage of memory which would have been used by the object declared only for calling the main method in the java. So that's why we declare it as static, so we don't have to instantiate any object or call or write up the object. Okay, next thing we write is public. So public is an access modifier, and with public it's an keyword which represents visibility. It means it is visible to all. Okay, so we specify like from where and who can access this method. It can access within its package, it can access outside of the package. It means it's visible to the whole world. Making the main method public means it can globally be accessible and available. It is made public so that jvm can invoke it from outside the class, and it's not present in the current class only. Okay, so suppose if my if windows, we have c drive, d drive, and e drive, and if I'm writing my program in d drive and my jvm or gre is present in the c drive, so I need to access the program. So for that, while executing the program, that needs to be public. Okay, public static void main. Okay, so the next thing is let me just also add up the curly braces, and yeah. Okay, so public static void main. The next thing is we write up string argument. So string args is used for command line arguments. Okay, so those arguments we need, like it stores the java command line arguments, and it's an array of type string. Okay, so string here is class, and it represents the class, not any type like int or long. Okay, so here the name of string arrays args, but it's not fixed, and the user can use any name in place of it. Okay, so be it arg, be it arg s double s. Okay, so we can use any method. Okay, so this is the syntax or the type we basically use to create a main method. Next, if we want to execute it, I'm just going to write system.out.println, and I'm just writing hello java, and I'm just running it. Okay, so we can see our program has finished executing, and we can see the output over the console. Now moving forward towards the interview questions. Okay, so let's start with the interview questions. So these interview questions are basically related to main method that has been usually asked to the Java developers. So the first question is like, why main method is public static? So I have already answered you like why we make it as static, but still I'm going to answer it again. So if main method is declared non-static, then JVM cannot call it without creating the instance of the class which contains the main method. So while creating instance, ambiguity might arises when the constructor takes argument as which one to call. So suppose I need to create parameterized or default, and it might get confused like which one to call. Okay, so that's why we create a static method, and with static method we don't have to declare any object, or we don't have to instantiate any object. Okay, so the main method is executed by the JVM, so it doesn't require to create an object to invoke the main method. That's why we create it as static, so that it also saves the memory. It will preload while creating our object. As static loads, or static we call as eager loaders, they'll load up while loading up the class only. Okay, the second question is like, can we overload main method in Java? The answer is yes, we can overload main method in Java. Let me show you. So I'm just going to create one more method, public static void main. and I'm just going to change the arguments, or okay, I'm not going to pass any argument, and I'm just writing system.out.println and hello Java second main, and I'm just going to call it from here. And you can see I have just overloaded a main method. So yes, we can overload main method in Java. The thing is that we can change the number of arguments we pass in the method parameters. Okay, so yes, we can overload. My third question would be like, can we override main method in Java? No, we cannot override main method in Java because main method is declared as static, and you are not allowed to override a static method in Java. It does not, make sense to override it, since the concept of overriding is only for instance methods. Okay. Fourth question or next question would be, what will happen if we declare main method as non-static? Okay, so it's similar to first question, like where I have explained why we use public static. So if we declare a main method as a non-static, the compilation will be successful, but it will throw a runtime error. Let me just show you guys. I'm just going to comment this and just comment out this, and I'm just going to remove this static, and let's just run this main method or the class, sorry. So you can see the compilation has been successful. There is no compile time error, but while running the program there is an exception. The exception is main method is not static. Okay, so we have to create this main method as static only. Okay, can we define a class without main method? No, we cannot define a class without main method. Starting from Java 7, in previous release of Java, we can have static initializer, static block, so as an alternative. Okay, but after JDK 7, or sorry, JDK 8, we cannot. We need to have a main method in Java. Okay. Can we declare main method with different access modifier other than public? No, main method cannot have any access modifier other than public. If you use private, protected, or default access modifier, the compilation will be fine, but it will throw a runtime error. Let me just also show you. I'm just declaring it as private static void main, and compilation is fine. There is no compile time error, but if I'm running this, there is a runtime error. Okay, so we cannot define main method other than public. Can we make main method as final? Yes, we can make main method as final. So I'm defining public static final void main. You can see compilation is fine. I'm running it. Okay, can we change return type of main method? No, we cannot change the return type of a main method. It must be void. If we change the return type, then we get a runtime error. Main method must return a type of void in the class. Okay. So these are all the questions, what we have encountered regarding main method in interviews. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you. If you have any question or doubt over main method in Java, do comment over and I'll be happy to reply over those comments. Thank you. Have a good day.